You're positive.
I'm positive.
Will you give me $10 if it's not?
Yes.
We're recording currently.
Yes, we're recording currently.
Sure, it's not like dead center on the screen. Is that okay?
It's the only way to get. I configured it so that it gets the most of the screen on.
All right, we'll reset it then. Okay, so here we have a tutorial for the game Altered Beast for Sega. We wanted a tutorial that showed the hardest difficulty with 2 players. The only one really out there showed the normal difficulty 1 player, and the person doing it, Jedi 1, did a terrible job at it. So in order to access the hardest difficulty, at the main screen, the first player is going to want to hold the B button and hit start. It'll bring up the cheat menu. As you can see, it's on hardest. You want to start the first round. This will all be set up for you when you do it. Same power, same number of lives. Now the second player is going to want to hit start to make it 2 players. Zeus is going to rise you from your grave. So here, these initial enemies, you just want to kick them. The punch is really only useful when you're duck punching certain enemies. This thing's going to land on top of you. You want to hold down and hit B. That does an up kick, which is useful for enemies falling on you from above. Now you have better range once you get that orb. So as you can see, there's some bulls that come. There's some brown bulls. Here's some brown bulls. They signify that a blue bull is going to be then coming soon, and that's what actually gives you the power-up orbs. So you want to make sure you don't miss them, because if you do, you only get 3 orbs or 3 bulls before the boss. And if you don't get all the orbs, you won't be able to fight the boss, because you need to be a beast in order to fight the boss. So make sure you also evenly distribute the orbs between you and your partner, because if one of you is a beast and the other is not, you again won't get to fight the boss. So as you can see, he got the orb. He's going to back up and allow me to get the other one. You can up kick this dragon thing. Now this lightning, it doesn't really hurt you. It'll look like it hurts you, but it'll just knock you back a little bit. That's what we call a legitimate dick. As you can see, I'm getting legitimate dick here.
Alright, so here's going to be the hardest boss in the game in terms of what we think. And you're going to want to use your A attack. Just use your straight A attack. It's going to throw these fireballs. While he throws out these heads, you're going to just want to avoid them, moving on the D-pad. You also don't want to be using your A attack during this time. It'll probably just screw you up and allow you to get hit by the heads. But as soon as you get a break, you definitely want to just be on the A button, shooting fireballs out. Obviously, he's got a very long lifespan on hardest and throws out a lot of heads.
That's the end of the level. This guy's going to come and take your orbs, turn you back into a minuscule human being again. Second stage, you're down in a cave. There's going to be some purple blobs that come. They're going to inch towards you, and then when they get close to you, they're going to jump and try and land on your head. Just kind of back up. Here comes one. He's going to jump up. I back up, and then I kick him in the face. There's a brown bull. Make sure you watch for that. You want these blue bulls, like you said. When you see these snake tails come, just kick them. If you don't kick them, a dragon's going to spawn and come from the ceiling.
You can also punch their head off for good measure if you like.
If you don't actually kick their tail off. But you can get legitimate dicked by those tails if you walk into them. You won't actually get hit, but you will get knocked back a little bit, as you can see there. Those are what we call tail whip faggots. They'll spin around. If you're upgraded, you have a much better range than they do. I'm going to back up here. I'm on my partner. Get the orb. Actually, I'm not.
Steals the orb from me. Basically, what you can do, though, at this point is when you're the dragon, just hold your B attack and you just basically radiate electricity and take out everything.
So as you can see, we're both not a beast, so we're not going to be able to fight the boss. We have to play through another stage. However, on this stage, it's not really that big of a deal because you're pretty much invincible with the lightning if you use the B attack. So you can pretty much protect your partner until he gets an orb.
Should be right now. So now we both, the dragon, both have the electricity, and we're just going to use the B button. Just stay on the B button.
Don't use the A attack. It shoots a single lightning out. It's really not effective. Jedi 1 likes to use it, and that's part of the reason why he dies and sucks so much. So just use B. You're more or less invincible. Every once in a while you'll get hit, but for the most part you won't. Just continue to decimate people with your lightning.
Obviously, you see how much longer the level goes for if you aren't the beast by the time the electric guy, the balding guy comes.
Just goes to show you how critical it is to have orb usage and to not miss those bulls, and to have evenly distributed orbs among you and your partner.
And obviously, this is one of the only levels you can do that and successfully get away with it, just because of how devastating the lightning is. Here's your second boss. What you want to do is you want to get right up in the center of his eye, but just far enough away so that he can't hit you.
Your body doesn't want to be touching him. As long as your blast radius of your lightning is getting his center eye and you're not touching him, you'll take him down in about 2 seconds.
I mean, you saw how quickly he was taken down right there just by the blast radius itself.
He's the easiest boss, so don't worry about him too much. As long as you have good blast radius, he won't touch you. Alright, the third stage is probably the second hardest stage. The biggest difficulty is that you can actually fall in pits, and you'll immediately lose a life, which you really can't afford to do, especially on hardest, because you don't get that many lives. These are what we call friends. They roll in packs. And then there's going to be 4 bulls that come here, 3 brown ones and a blue one. You want to upkick these guys. You want to get good orb usage. And then use up and C to jump. That does a higher jump than if you just hit C. That's the only way you'll make it up to these higher platforms. Let those muscle faggots just walk right to their deaths. They'll fall right in the pit. You just want to make sure you don't fall in the pit. Now we're purposely going to not get perfect orb usage here, only because this stage is really tough if you don't get perfect orb usage, and we want to show you how to beat it. So you see there's a blue bull that comes up top here. One person usually stays up there. Alright, so you see we missed the orbs. Here's where the boss would normally be. Kick the muscle faggots. He's going to go away. Once you become the bear, you want to use your B attack, which is a freeze attack. Alright, there's the blue bull. I'm the bear. Now I'm going to back up. Once you get an orb, make sure you back up so your partner can get it. You want to use the A attack mostly, which is a freeze attack. It freezes pretty much everything, turns them into stone. If you freeze one friend, the lead friend, all the other friends that come follow behind it get rejected, as you can see. About 4 or 5 friends just got rejected there. There's one more. It's a good way to not fight as many enemies if you freeze the lead friend. Here's another pit. This is where you want to make sure that you don't use your B attack, which is a rolling jumping attack, because a lot of times you fall in the pit. You want to be careful that you kind of just jump across these pits. You don't fall in them. Let the friends fall to their deaths. A lot of people will fall to their deaths. There's some more frozen friends. Alright, so now we're going to be at the boss. This is probably the second easiest boss in the game.
What you want to do is, this is really the only part that you really want to utilize your B attack. You're going to want to stand right on this right side of the screen. You'll end up in his cauldron, and then you're just going to keep tapping B as fast as you can.
Just keep holding right and tap B. A lot of times you'll get legitimate dicked and you'll get knocked out of the cauldron a little bit, but just keep holding right.
And then what you want to do is strut your stuff. Bear's got a great strut.
She's got a great strut, so make sure you strut your stuff, just for good measure. Alright, the 4th level is very similar to the 1st level. It's nice because there's no more pits you can fall in. It's got the same type of enemies. The only thing that's really added is there's a flying enemy with a hammer that you can't do the up kick, the duck up kick. You have to just jump kick them, which really isn't a big problem. So here's a blue bull. Make sure you get that first blue bull because enemies are much easier once you're upgraded with 1 orb. Your range is much better than other things. Like these guys that are holding their heads, if you haven't gotten an orb, you're going to have to duck punch them. Same with the big muscular yellow guys we call muscle faggots. But once you're upgraded at least once, you have good range, and you can just kick pretty much everybody. These guys can fall right onto your kick, fall to their foot death, like we like to refer to it. So here's the hammer guys. You want to jump kick them. If you try and up kick them, they're just going to bring the hammer down on you. Kick the tail up faggots. You can punch the guys that are up on like the stone barriers there. Blue bull's going to come jumping down. So I got it. I'm going to back up my partner. I'm now the tiger. The B attack is useful for the guys with the hammers. You kind of dash up into the air. For everybody else, just use the A attack and shoot orbs. As you can see, you get to the boss pretty quickly here.
Alright, so this is going to be the second hardest boss in the game. What I'm going to do, you're going to try and throw these fireballs out, but you definitely want to have a lead man, since the fireballs are not the most effective way to get them. Now he's going to start throwing these little birds out.
Fiery bats.
As you'll see right here. You want the front man to kind of take those bats out so they're not a distraction, as well as staying in just a good enough blast radius to hit the boss also.
Usually every third tunnel of flames that he fires, you're going to have to duck for, so just be wary of that and kind of count. The lead man, yeah, usually take out those fiery bats, and also you can just hit him with the side of your B attack. Don't try and get right under him, because if you do a B attack straight up into him, he'll hit you.
That's what I tried to do before.
You just catch him with the side of it and also take out the fiery bats. And the guy in the back, just some well-placed fireballs, and he'll be dead. He's a lot of lifespan, but once you get the pattern down, he's not too tough.
Yeah, I try to show you guys the most aggressive tactic while you're being the front man. That's why I lost.
It can be a lot more conservative. It'll take a little longer to beat if you just use the B attack for the fiery birds and then just use fireballs and not hit them with your B attack. But once you start to get the hang of it, you can get a little more aggressive with it. So now, this is crucial to power up quickly. You want to duck punch these antelopes. In fact, you want to duck punch most of the people until you're upgraded at least a little bit. Same with the purple girls. The duck punch is pretty effective on the 5th level. Alright, these guys you want to jump kick. You want to jump, they'll follow you, and once they follow you up, then you just kick them like that. So once you're upgraded, you have a pretty good range. It's really, it's all about getting that first orb.
Alright, well there you go. I'm upgraded now.
Alright, so now we're both the Super Wolf. Once you're the Super Wolf, both attacks are pretty effective. Mostly you want to just fire these fireballs. You can use the dash attack on certain things. So here you're going to see perfect orb usage is really key on the 5th level. You don't want to play more than one stage because it's really tough. But once this final boss, he's about the 3rd easiest boss, kind of somewhere in the middle. Really all you want to do is you want to duck punch, or you want to duck and throw your fireballs. He's going to charge you, and then he'll kick after. You can duck right under his jabs. However, eventually he's going to kick you. When he's about to kick you, after about 2 or 3 sets of jabs, he'll try and kick you. But if you just power through him with your B attack and then just repeat that pattern on the other side, he'll go down pretty quickly. So this blue bird comes out. You rescued the Zeus's daughter, Athena, I believe. We're not really sure which one gets to score with her, but whichever one is, you score with her in the wolf form, which is pretty sweet, as you can see by the little cutscene that comes up. So that's pretty much the idea of the game. We thought it was a little better than Jedi's walkthrough, in which he dies. If you do die and you want to start over where you left off, instead of holding B and hitting start like you did for the cheat menu, you hold A and hit start. It'll start you right where you left off. That's what Jedi 1 likes to do, since you can't actually beat the game without it, especially on the normal difficulty. And here you just get legitimate dicked by the credits, just for fun. You can mess around a little bit. And that's the walkthrough for the hardest difficulty with 2 people.